500 milliliters of a saline solution that is 5% salt. How much pure water do you need to add to dilute it to a 2% salt solution? Okay, so can we agree this is a table type problem? Alright, so set up our table here. Alright, my rows, those are the things that we are mixing together. Then the columns, that's our formula. What is the formula for this? Okay, so we have a 5%, we have a 2%. What else do we have? Water. Okay, what concentration is water? So, I always told you, you mix your highest and lowest to get something in between, right? So we are mixing the 5% and the water to get a 2%. And we can get that information either by reading the problem or just looking at the percents. 2 falls in between the other two, so that has to be the total. Are we okay there? So now we start reading the question. You have 500 milliliters of a saline solution that is 5% salt. We have 500 milliliters of the 5%. So when you go to put it in the table, you have to make sure you put it in the right spot. That's probably the biggest issue I've seen on these. So 500 milliliters goes with the 5%. So that is this amount. Sometimes I'm giving you one of those, sometimes I give you the total. So we just have to watch the problem. How much pure water? So if I'm asking you how much, I don't know it, what do we call it? X. Alright, if you add 500 of the first and X of the second, how much do we get at the end? 500 plus X. Okay, because you add your first and second to get your total. Alright, concentration. So 5%, my concentration would be 0.05 divided by 100, move it back 2. Water is 0, and 2% is, okay, so then we multiply across. So 500 times 0.05, X times 0, and we have the 0.02 times the 500 plus X. And that's another place where I've seen a few people making mistakes. They take the 500 times the 0.02, but they don't distribute it to their X. So if you need to, write it like this, so that you realize you have to distribute that 0.02. Then how do you write an equation from there? Add the first and second to equal the total. Do you guys need me to keep solving, or do you know where you would go from here? You could finish that. Is that question okay? Then let's take a look at an interest one. So this tells me Sam invests $6,000 in 2 bank accounts. One of the accounts pays 8% interest per year, and the other account pays 10% interest per year. If the total interest earned on the investments is $560 after 1 year, how much money was invested in each account? So where do we begin? Chart. What formula goes across the top? Good. Okay. So he tells us one account is paying 8%, one is 10%. have our total. All right. So Sam invests $6,000 in 2 different accounts. Where would my 6,000 go? Total principal. That's how much money we start with. One of the accounts pays 8% interest. So do I know how much I put in there? So we would call that. And the rate is? Per year, so time is 1. Okay? The next account pays 10% interest per year. So the rate is 0.1 or 0.10, either way. Do I know how much I put in there? No. Can I also call that one X? No. I had 6,000. If I've taken X of it out to put in one account, we have 6,000 minus X remaining. If the total interest earned is $560, so total interest, 560. How much was invested in each account? So now what do we do? Okay, 6,000 minus X times 0.1 times 1. And then how do we write our equation? And could you guys finish it from there? And if I get, let's say X equals 4,000, does that mean you put 4,000 in each one? No, it means you put $4,000 at 8% and $2,000 at 10%. So you have to look back at that table when you go to write your sentence.
So basically, if it was not 1 year, you would just solve it and then times it by 2.
Yeah, if I said 2
'Cause
years.
We've never done one that wasn't.
Yeah, most of these we're just looking at annual. But yeah, if I put a different number here, for instance, if I'd said 2 years, you just have to do 0.08 times 2. You're just multiplying everything in that row together. Other questions? Then I think we are ready.